That's the old Seaman's Lodge for retired fishermen. Little Fox Bookshop used to be a fishing shop. Little independent bars on here. This is Grape Lane in Whitby. Oh, people crabbing. It is now closed. Spent some right money doing that up to make it into a restaurant. Last about a year and a half. Closed down. Should have made it into a fish and chip shop. I think Whitby's a bit short on fish and chip shops. That's a replica of Captain Cook's ship, or ships. He always preferred the Whitby ships because of the flat bottoms, the coal ships. That's where he took to Australia and to Hawaii and around the world, because you can get quite close into shore with these, and even onto the beach for tides right. Put it in on high tide, do what you have to do, and then on when it's low tide, and then when it goes back to high tide, sail off. That's what they used to do when they used to go into places like Robin Hood's Bay and that to unload coal. Go up onto the shore, wait for tide to go out, unload, tide back in, go. I think it's all closed up now. It were a floating restaurant. I think it's closed up. Fishery Patrol vessel, North Eastern Guardian 4. Can you remember old Eastern Guardian 2? That were a pretty good big boat. That's impressive. Catamaran, more stable at sea. The one that used to be here, the Eastern Guardian 2, last time I saw it, it was moored in London in a little private marina being converted into a leisure yacht. And that building there's a environmental technology building or something that's supposed to going to be bringing a load of jobs and investment into the area. I believe it when I see it. It's a big platform, that. Beautiful boat. That'll be for the offshore fisheries and going up towards Scotland as well as local sea area, because you've got the little inflatable one there, but I think that goes on the back as well. Guy there just sat on his smart liner getting away front wife. Can't fault him. I do like the old cobbles like that one to the left. There used to be an old cobble here. It used to be moored down by the swing bridge called CH. You know, I love that little boat. If I'd had money, I'd have bought that. They still make the trawlers over there, not just for Whitby, all over the country, and sometimes into Europe. They build them, which is nice to see something still going on in Whitby that's traditional with the shipbuilding. Where the houses are over there, that used to be Whitehall Shipyard, where they used to build the ships like the Endeavour and that Captain Cook had. Closed down some years ago. Back in sort of mid-80s, late 80s, Whitehall Shipyard were up for sale. Scarborough Council were selling it. They were only going to fetch 250,000, which back then were a hell of a lot of money compared to now. Can't get a house for that. And my old boss were going to buy it and build a factory there, but they didn't want factories being built on there, and they sat on it and sat on it, and then sold it for an absolute fortune for them to build them houses and apartments on there. That over there used to be Electric Board Yard. That got sold off by North Eastern Electric, and as you can see, they built houses on there. Premium money. And premium money back then, which were sort of early 90s they were built. Some barnacles on bottom of that. Over there, there's a old Whitby and a lifeboat, used for pilot now, but I don't think they even need pilots in Whitby anymore because big ships don't come in like they used to. Whitby had a Whitby lifeboat, White Rose of Yorkshire were its name, and then we got the City of Sheffield, which were a Tyne class, and then they got a Trent class. The City of Sheffield Tyne class is at the Fire and Rescue Museum in Sheffield on West Bar. Nice cafe bar, they do nice food. Bit dear, but they do nice food and drink. £7.40 for a pint. Looks like they've put covers on windows at Lifeboat. Stop sun and heat getting into all electronics. To probably kill them heat that we've been getting this week at 31 degrees. Especially in that because no air getting in. They're like a greenhouse. This is where that little boat that I wanted years ago used to be moored, sea urchin. If anybody knows whatever happened to it, I'd appreciate it if you put it in comments, especially if you're from Whitby and you know. presses. There's no queue at the Magpie Cafe. Get in there quick while you can. I don't think anybody's ever said a bad word about Magpie Cafe because they've queued up for 40 minutes, 50 minutes just to get in. They do fish and chips, traditional fish and chips, but they also do seafood. Proper seafood dishes rather than in batter, just everything in batter. If you would like to do us a favour and like and subscribe the videos, I'd appreciate it. I'm not forcing you to, but I'll get on my hands and knees and beg you if I need to. I really want this channel to grow, so please subscribe. It's absolutely free, and being from Yorkshire, out for naught. It's worth a little visit with the Lifeboat Museum. Give them some money and some love. They do a good job at Lifeboatmen.
Może być ciepła woda tutaj w takim
Looks like at some point it's been a bit rough this week. Like they've spent some money in Whitby because there's new benches, not the old cast iron white benches, and they've also replaced the old white capstans with new capstans, and people putting rubbish in the little blocks where handles are to go. I did a video on capstans. It didn't do right well, but I used AI voiceover on it. It didn't do well at all. But they used to use these capstans when they were pulling ships in 18 up to late 1900s. They used to row out, get a line up on the ships, row them in so far with the boats, and then when they got to the end here, they'd throw the rope onto the shore and then use these capstans to bring it down into the harbour and then moor up on the wharf to be able to unload goods. Be happy. It's a bit windy now on here. And St Helen's Church. Over there you can see the whale with its tail out and the body out of the water. They are now spent on benches. So imagine these cow horns weren't here. That's what they're locally known as, these concrete structures with piers. The cow horns. So these cow horns weren't here back then. They'd row the boats, well the ships, up to a point where they can throw the lines on here, and then the ground men or shoremen would get hold of the ropes, bring the ropes through, wrap the ropes around the capstans and then pull the ships in. There'd be a group of men with wooden poles through the squares in the cylinder, and they'd just walk round in a circle pulling the ships in. When it got so far in, they'd move the ropes to another area. So they'd pull the ropes through. You can see the wear on the rocks, where the ropes have wore the rocks away. They pull the ropes up, bring the ships in, and then move down, and then go down to the next capstan and pull it in, and it would happen all the way down into the harbour. Why? They have Whitby Regatta, and it's a rowing competition. They used to have a couple of teams, a couple of companies that used to go out. The first one with the line on the ship got the money for bringing them in. And the regatta races are part of that. They have to race out round a buoy and then race back. And it all stems from the bringing the ships in, the cargo ships into Whitby back into 1900s. So that over there, if the camera's picking it up, is the whale. You can see the body and the tail sticking out. And then over here is Whitby's crocodile. So if you've got a good imagination, really need to move on to the pier for this. But you can see the head there, and then it goes to the front feet, down to the back feet, and then the tail goes down to where the beach huts are. Takes a good imagination. Looks like they've renewed the ladders so you can climb out of the water when you're falling. It's not advised to jump in here because it's pretty cold. You tend to go into shock, and then you've got a possibility of drowning. But some people are braver and don't feel the cold as much as what I do and some others do. So little replica of the Endeavour. In the last couple of weeks they've been seeing some dolphins and porpoise out at sea on these little sea trips. When the weather's good, you can't beat the Yorkshire coast. But it's when the weather's good. I heard a thing the other day that on the east side of Whitby over there, 70% of the buildings or the houses, homes, are holiday lets and holiday homes. So in winter it gets very desolate, a bit like Robin Hood's Bay and Staithes. Down in the bottom, hardly anybody lives there anymore. It's all holiday lets, and in winter it's just dead. There's no lights on. It's a bit spooky and airy. If you want to go down and make some videos or sort of do a bit of ghost hunting, that's the time to go, because there's just no sound, nothing. Can't really knock tourism though, because it brings an income into the towns and villages on the east coast. If it weren't for tourists, they'd be dead and they'd be gone. Nice old cobble. Nice to see some of them still working. There used to be hundreds here, there's not many about now. suppose it's the maintenance of the wood and everything, keeping them afloat and keeping them going.
It's still there, but I don't want to pick it up. It's still there, but I don't want to. Until this goes like this. And it goes like that.
It's a nice little motor sailor.